Migrant numbers are overwhelming Arizona border facilities, forcing agents to release them into the streets.
But the counties that they end up in don't have the resources to really help them. Fox 10's Stephanie Bennett's been looking into this. She joins us with the story. Steph?
John and Christina, good evening. Yeah, it's definitely a complicated situation. Looking back at latest numbers, which actually come from July, showing that the Tucson sector was the busiest for encounters across the entire southwest border. In fact, their numbers, they had over 39,000 encounters, which was up 60% compared to the month before back in June. Now, why is this? Well, basically, it's false advertising from the cartels who are saying it's easier to come through into the country here in Arizona, and it's also easier to be released.
They have 34,000 beds, no more. So those beds are already taken up. So as thousands and thousands of more people come across the border, there's nowhere to put them right now.
Retired ICE Field Office Director John Fabricatori sitting down with us tonight, sharing photos from a recent trip to Ajo, showing migrants being detained in an outdoor holding facility as the Tucson sector becomes overwhelmed and CBP facilities are at capacity.
So since there's nowhere to house them, they are just simply giving them what's called a notice to appear in front of an immigration judge. They issue them the notice to appear, and then they release them on their own recognizance. There's 2 million case backlog in the immigration court. Some of these case dates that they're putting on those NTAs are 5 to 7 years down the road from now.
The sector has seen around 2,000 illegal crossings a day for 3 days.
The next thing I see is 136 migrants who had crossed illegally. The cartel about another mile up the road had cut a small hole through the fence. There were over 300 by the time the Border Patrol had gotten out there. And there were 4 agents to almost 300 illegal migrants that had crossed the wall.
Agents have resorted to street releases to alleviate packed shelters, many going to Cochise County.
We've had since Wednesday, which is around noon, till today. The last numbers I got was 235 were street released in Cochise County.
Sheriff Daniels says they're used to seeing border-related crimes like human trafficking and drug smuggling, but the humanitarian aspect is something they're not equipped to handle.
Again, we're a rural county lacking essential resources for people like this that need those logistical resources. We have citizens stepping up. We have churches stepping up. We have a lot of people stepping up, trying to make this better, along with law enforcement, our mayors, doing everything we can.
For now, Sheriff Daniels tells me that he expects things to get worse in the coming days unless the cartels shift their smuggling patterns.